Hey guys, I'm not even really sure where to start because I'm so aggravated right now. I know a couple people had reached out to me and asked me when I was going to do the PETA video. I'm still working on that because it's just, there's so much information to research and take in, and each day I find out more things. And I'm probably going to have to write everything down and read off of it because there's just so much information that needs to be put out there that I don't know where to really even begin. And because I am a total overthinker and there's so much going on right now in my own life, plus just within the circus of PETA, it makes it really hard to stay focused if I don't have some kind of guidelines. But I just wanted to make this because just in the last few weeks, there's been 3 attacks in particular that have really just hit home and really been eating me alive, so to speak. Tim Starr is going through hell with all of his animals, and some being taken away. There's also Monica, who has Paradise Ranch, that is dealing with an immense amount of issues with PETA. And of course, for the longest time now, I've been involved with for about 2 years, has been Connie, Casey, and Tanya with her chimps. And if any of you follow my page, well, the name has changed. It's now Protect Animals, Pray for PETA, and it used to be Protect Animals, Paralyze PETA, which if you do, you've seen the video as to why I changed the name. But if you followed that at all, you've seen a lot of posts regarding Connie and Tanya and the chimps and what's been going on with them. And today it just really hit me hard. We really need to do something. Everybody, I mean, I just see thousands upon thousands of people following, animal posts, and a page on Facebook called PETA Kills Animals. There's so many people out there that realize that PETA is not a typical organization. And they know and are learning that it is not an animal organization. They are not about loving animals, and definitely not about ethical treatment of animals. And I have done as much as I feel like I can to try to share on my Facebook. I don't do Twitter. I have an account, but I don't use it. I just don't have time. Instagram, whatever. Nobody wants to touch it as far as like the news and newspapers, because most people know that PETA is brutal and that they stop at nothing, and they are so rich. They get, in 2019, I think, I even wrote it down, I think it was in 2019, PETA raked in over $50.9 million. And this year, I can't remember the number, I have it somewhere else, was even more than that. $50.9 million. That is like one of the richest nonprofit organizations out there. All of their money comes in from donations. People that believe in their purpose, their agenda. And most of these people are not educated. They see PETA's page on Facebook, which is, I don't even want to go into that, lies. And they think, oh my gosh, this is such a great organization. I felt the same way when I was younger. I just read the title, People for Ethical Treatment of Animals. I thought, oh, these gotta be great people. Just like all the heart-yanking commercials for the Humane Society of America, which is just another puppet for PETA. Their money doesn't go into saving animals. It never has. It goes into the big wigs sitting in their butt in the office, and their agenda. Because 90% of the people that help with PETA, probably more than 90%, are volunteers. They don't get paid. But anyway, I'll go into that in my video. I just wanted to make it a point today that if you saw the post that Tanya posted last night about, I guess they did end up settling the court thing with PETA. I mean, it's been years. They have totally ran these girls into the ground and exhausted them at every aspect of the word, emotionally, physically, mentally, stalked them, terrorized them, broke into the facility. It's just been a numerous thing. And I sat here today and I asked the question, why? Trying not to cry. Because I think about what would happen to me if somebody came to my door and delivered a letter saying that I was going to court because I'm losing my animals. Simply because they can do it. There's no logical reason. It would kill me, literally. And I can't imagine what this has done to Connie when some of these chimps have been there their entire lives, like 40 years, 30 years. These chimps don't know anyone or anything else. These chimps are happy, they have been loved, they have been cared for. Primates bond to their humans and the people they're around like no other animal. It is like a child when it comes to the intimacy. And I just don't think people realize that unless they've spent any amount of time with them or been owned by them. It is just like nothing else. Jumping a little bit ahead, they get to keep 3 of these chimps and locate them in a facility of their own. The other 3 are going to get moved to a place here in Florida, which I used to think was great till I found out they were another one of PETA's puppets, the Great Ape Center out in Wauchula, Florida. Nice facility. The animals look well, but they've gotten what they've gotten, or at least most of them, by ripping other people's lives apart. The woman that owns that place started out with pets of her own, and when it got impossible to renew her license to keep them as private ownership, she just opened a non-profit sanctuary. So now she gets to do what all other private owners are doing, except for she can say she's a sanctuary and she can take other people's animals away, and her expenses are paid for by other people's hard work and their donations and PETA. PETA takes in these chimps that have been on TV, the movie Duxton Checks In, Every Which Way But Loose with Clint Eastwood. Those orangutans were there. So they put out this big, long, heart-jerking story that these animals have lived a hard life in entertainment, and now they're here and they need your support to help build them a new enclosure and provide for them. And, no, that's not how it is. This is how they work to get your money to pay for their animals. Point blank. So off track again. Anyway, sorry, my mind is just all over the place, and I usually write stuff down and know what I'm going to say, and today I was just so aggravated that I just felt like I needed to do just to get this out there. But back on track, 3 of these chimps, or some of the whatever's left, I'm so confused right now and angry, are going to go there. And my question was, why? Why has PETA spent thousands upon thousands of dollars over the last several years in just this case to take these animals away from a place and put them into a place that is no better in any size, shape, or form than where they were? In fact, the only difference is what these chimps are going to have to go through being ripped away from the only place and the only people they've ever known, to be put in new enclosures, no better than the ones they're in. They will have no more freedom than they have now. Some of them may not even eat or even may die because the stress is going to be so hard on them. So other than stressing them out and ripping them out of their home in Missouri and bringing them to Florida and putting them in a cage with the same kind of people doing the same kind of care every day that they're getting now, there's no difference. So what is the point? They've ripped out Connie's heart and tore her life apart. And now they're going to destroy these animals mentally and emotionally just because they can. Now you tell me what sense it makes. I don't understand. And this is how they work on a regular basis. You see these things about them closing down these labs where they work on monkeys. Do you ever see a follow-up on that? Do you ever see where these monkeys end up, what kind of lives they have after they're taken from there? No, you don't. Do you ever see PETA step up when there's been a natural disaster and they're in dire need of funding to help these animals that have no homes or need medical care, or shelters out there that need help with feeding them until they find their owners or whatever? Did you see them stepping up when there's all these fires out in Australia that just totally devastated the population of koalas among other native animals? Have you seen them once on TV or the news or even on their page stepping up to do anything with all the animals that are dying in the fires in California and Oregon and everywhere else right now? No. You don't ever see that. You don't see any follow-up stories when they're ripped away from their homes. So I just don't understand how so many people can be so uneducated and so gullible to throw the amounts of money they do at an organization that is just totally up to no good. An organization that believes that animals should never be in the hands of humans. They believe that animals are better off dead in the hands of humans. That is straight from the mouth of Ingrid Newkirk, the president of PETA. I just don't get it. Anyway, rant over for now, but I just ask that you please check out our page on Facebook. It's nothing elaborate. It's, again, it's Protect Animals, Pray for PETA. And I explained in a video, which I think I pinned at the top, as to why I changed the name to that. And you can watch that if you question why I named it that way. I will talk about that more in the video that I'm working on. But I just ask that you take a look at the page and scroll down, because we share information constantly. There is a lot right now on there, I think, dealing with Connie and Monica and Tim, because we're really trying hard to get petitions signed and make people aware of what's going on and try to get these guys some help, because what's happening to them is just total injustice and it's horrible. And I think if everyone stopped for a minute and put themselves in their position, they would think differently on this. But as I was saying, the page has oodles of information about PETA, the statistics. I mean, might have to do some scrolling because there's a lot on there. But share it. Every day, pick a couple articles and share it. It's not about being hateful. It's not about being mean. It's about sharing the truth to save animals' lives, and not just exotic animals. I mean, they're going after anything and everything. The big people first, the money makers first. And then it's going to be the dog and cat and farm people. I mean, they've already attacked some, but it's going to get worse. And the more they win and the more they get, the less ground animal people are going to have to stand on. So I just ask that you keep these situations and these people in prayer, and that you educate other people on it as well as yourself. And by gosh, let's all join forces and do something to take this organization down. Thank you for watching.